Thank you so much for tuning in tonight on the Boss Babes. I'm Emmalyn Reid here with my co-host, that's Be So Beautiful, Brittany Baldessari. Hey!
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Boss Babes. And obviously, we're not live in studio today, but we are coming from you live from our homes. And Shandy Girl just celebrated her birthday, so let's talk a little bit.
She did. Oh my goodness, she had the best time, and it was so cute because we were trying to figure out what to do. And it's really funny because I think that this whole crazy virus has impacted everything. So we had to order all of her stuff in advance. So we went to Chewy, of course, our favorite place to get things for Shandy. We ordered a bunch of stuff and it wound up showing up late. So her birthday was actually, little known fact, April 10th. But we decided to just, wait until everything came in. It took a little longer, but it's okay. We know it's not priority stuff for our dog ball toy. But we were just so excited to get everything in today. Jake went crazy with the Nerf launcher and kept shooting it all over the house. I was like, we're going to break a lamp. This is going to be how it happens. But it was so much fun. And they really, we had such a good time.
Super exciting. Yeah, I remember texting you a little while ago saying, oh my God, that ice cream looks so cute. What was that? And then I asked you if you guys put peanut butter on top of it. And I think that's absolutely perfect for a puppy. So I'm sure that she loved her birthday party today.
Oh, she went crazy. And the best part about it is we just took a little Frosty Paws ice cream, put some peanut butter, and then Bocce's Bakery makes these really awesome organic birthday treats that are peanut butter and molasses. So we put a couple of those on top. It was so perfect. Oh my gosh. So head over to my Instagram or Shandy's Instagram, Sweet Like Shandy. There's a picture of it up. You guys can make it at home for your dogs too.
Super cute. And speaking of the weekend, obviously last weekend was just Easter Sunday, and this past weekend was just the Greek Easter Sunday. So I want to wish a happy Easter to our producer, Mike Sotos, because he got to celebrate his Greek Easter this past Sunday, which is super exciting. So I wanted to pop up this photo of the Hayward family. So Gordon Hayward, this photo was actually taken last weekend. They celebrated Easter, and I am so excited for this family because we've already talked about it before, but Gordon Hayward has 3 girls, and he is finally having that boy. And I forget when that boy is due, but I am so excited that he finally gets the opportunity to have a boy and potentially turn him into a basketball star. So I'm super excited for that. Just picture, if Jake was really excited to have a boy and he's finally going to get that boy, how would his reaction be?
Oh, man. Well, I'm pretty sure everyone in our family is expecting us to have a girl. But Jake would be stoked, I think. I think that our whole family would be happy, no matter what we have. I think that everyone's going to be really excited. Of course, we're not pregnant yet. At some point we will be. I know we want to look into, getting a house and all that fun stuff. So we have a lot. I think 2020 is going to be a really, really big year. But man, it's funny. He actually already said, he's like, if we wind up with 2 girls, that's it. We're stopping. We will adopt a boy. We're not going for 3. He doesn't think he can take it. And I honestly can't even blame him.
I love that. 2 kids and a dog is enough. I'm kind of in the same boat. Obviously, I'm not thinking about having kids anytime soon, but I think 2, especially this day and age where everything is so pricey, 2 kids is definitely enough. But I'm really excited for the Hayward family. Can't wait to see that baby boy be born, and super excited for all the holidays that are about to come up. And I want to talk about Enes Kanter from the Boston Celtics. We're going to pop this up really quickly. So Enes Kanter is actually on the cover of Boston Man magazine, which I believe is coming out in the next couple of weeks. Obviously, Emma and I are very good friends with Matt Robato of Boston Man magazine. But the reason why I'm popping this up is that it kind of goes along with what's happening right now in the world with COVID-19. So Enes Kanter is a big on social media about human rights in the Turkish government and how they're very authoritative. And he's basically mentioning the fact that a lot of bad people are being released from jail and a lot of good people are being put into jail. And I wanted to have this talk with you really quickly, Emma, because that's sort of happening right now in the U.S. where we all kind of think that our rights are being stripped away from us slowly but surely. So what is your take on that really quickly?
So my take, this goes back to something that not only has my mother always told me, but that someone else has always told me. This goes back a long time where there's a quote that says, your rights end where someone else's begin. And I think that overall, the most important thing that we can think about throughout this crisis, which it's interesting you said that, because that was something that was being echoed really, really strongly at a rally actually on the Cape that a lot of people saw by the Bourne Bridge. And it made me very nervous because, you know, sure, as much as we want to open, we want the tourism, we want the business, like, you know, there are a lot of places that really do need the business, yes, but you can shop online. You know, it's 2020. We have so much technology that I just don't think we should be rushing it when we can be safer. And the reason why I said, you know, your rights end where someone else's begin, I think personally, you know, we have to be considerate of others and know that, yes, while it might be easy for us to walk into, you know, whatever business we want to go to do things, that's something that could be really scary for someone that maybe is considered an essential worker but is immunocompromised and doesn't have a way to just say no. I mean, that's where it becomes tricky. Is not, I think people just genuinely don't realize that, well, it's nice for people to be able to, you know, keep businesses going. I think that there are safe ways we can do that. So you just kind of have to think about in every situation, not to be like, oh my gosh, it's 2020, am I offending someone? But am I doing the safest thing for myself, my family, themselves, and their family? So that's something I think we just all need to take into consideration.
Yeah, I kind of agree where it does kind of feel like our rights are sort of being stripped away because, like you're mentioning, we do want to stay safe. I'm not downplaying that, and COVID-19 is very real. But for all of us to be locked in our homes for over a month now definitely is a little bit frightening. I know. Emma's over here like, I love it. But yeah, so props to Enes Kanter because he is sticking up for his home country of Turkey. So I have been keeping up with his post lately, and Matt Robato and I have been speaking about that. And I just wanted to bring that to light because, again, we do talk about athletes both on and off the field. And I wanted to mention the fact that he not only played professional basketball for the Boston Celtics, but now that they're on this downtime, he's focusing a little bit on human rights and speaking out about his country. I want to switch on over to another professional athlete who actually just celebrated his birthday, like Shandy Girl. On Sunday, Jackie Bradley Jr. just turned 30 years old, and what I'm super excited about, speaking of COVID-19, there's his family. So there's Jackie Bradley Jr., their baby, and Mrs. Bradley, which is, her name is Erin. So I wanted to pop them up because they've actually been supporting something called Boston Healthcare for the Homeless. They actually have been working with them for a while since they've been in the Boston area. And what they did recently, they helped out set up a Amazon wish list for homeless people that are suffering from COVID-19. So if anybody is interested in purchasing some items off that wish list, go right ahead and help them out. Because as you know, Em and I are big into charity, giving back, and we love seeing other athletes give back to the community. What do you think about Jackie Bradley Jr. and his wife helping out the homeless?
I think that's so sweet, and I love having these good stories like that. That's the whole reason why, you know, like I said, and I say every week, whole reason why I started my blog. I love like all the charity and the ways that people are giving back. I'm gonna have another new post tomorrow, just to lightly talk about how they're giving back to healthcare workers in the industry. There, I think, are a lot of times where people don't realize that they're the masks that they have to wear and all the protective equipment can sometimes take a toll on their body. So there's a local vendor that came up with a really cool way to help them protect themselves and, you know, also feel comfortable while they're doing it, as comfortable as they possibly can be.
Super excited. And I can't wait for the second half of the show when we get to talk to you about your Irish Hearts Foundation charity event that you did yesterday, which I was keeping track of. So I'm so excited to talk to you about that after the commercial break. But really quickly, I want to pop up. So Derek Jeter, let's pop up this photo of his house. It's an absolute mansion. I cannot believe that this house is 7 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms. God knows how big that pool is. But apparently that's where Tom Brady and Giselle and his family are going to be living until who knows how long he's going to be playing with Tampa Bay, because that guy is a god and can go on forever. But apparently that's his new house. And I guess it's not that private, which to me is kind of interesting because Tom Brady is a pretty private guy. And his last house was set back. And I guess this one, you could actually like drive right up to it. So Emma, if we're ever in Florida, we're going to go take a peek at Tom's house.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Let's go.
So he's actually renting this house from former New York Yankee Derek Jeter. He's actually married to a Sports Illustrated model, Hannah B. Jeter, which is kind of cool. But the reason why we're popping this up is not only because of Tom Brady, but It's Patriots Day. Today was supposed to be the Boston Marathon. You're rocking the t-shirt. And I want to segue right into our special guest. So we have Will DiTullio, and he was supposed to be running today for the Tom Brady TB12 Foundation team for the Boston Marathon. Welcome, Will.
How's it going?
How are you? Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm doing well. Yeah, thanks for having me.
So how does it feel not being able to run the marathon today and kind of being stuck in quarantine like the rest of us?
Yeah, I was pretty bummed out. I was really looking forward to it because, it's kind of a 20-week process, and I think it's been about 5 weeks since we kind of halted our training. So you going fast, full time, and everything every week, training hard and everything, and then all of a sudden you're just like, I can't run the marathon. We're gonna wait till September, so it's kind of a bummer.
Are you going to be running the marathon in September when it is back up and going?
Yep, I will be. I'm ready to go.
Emma and I were actually supposed to be covering an event at the marathon today. Remember, Emma? Where was that event supposed to be?
I think that one was supposed to be, oh gosh, of course, you asked me, and I'm like, my whole brain is just like, I can't even keep track of all the events.
I know, I can't remember either, but I know that basically Emma and I were supposed to be covering some type of an event at a marathon, and it was a charity event to raise money directly for the marathon. So her and I, which I'm excited, Emma, again, thank you for hosting tonight, because originally we were supposed to cover that event together, I think stop off at the marathon, and then cover the show together live in studio in Quincy.
Yeah. It was supposed to be a really fun day, but it's kind of crazy how everything changed. But honestly, it's better that we're waiting, because if we had pushed it and done it, I think it would have, how do I put it? Like, some people are responsible and I think can handle it, and I think could have done a great job. But there are other people that I just know that probably would not have been as graceful with it. So it's probably for the best that we're waiting, and I can't imagine how awesome September's going to be. But Will, for you, how is that going to be for you now with the training, with everything shifting? Is that going to be a major challenge, or is it fun because you like to run anyways?
So I like to run and stay fit and everything anyways. So like the last 5 or so weeks, I've still gone out, masked up and been on my own. Kind of taking it a little bit easier because now you got another 20 weeks to go. So it won't be that big of a deal. It's kind of just in a couple weeks, I think we really kick into gear again and get back on that 20-week program and ready to go.
Yay. That's so exciting. And I know that you grew up in Stoneham, Massachusetts, which I love that you are local. You had a younger sister. You went to Malden Catholic, and you were a big soccer, basketball, and track star when you were younger. Those are like your sports, but kind of walk us through the steps of how you started getting involved with the Boston Marathon. And I know that you got a couple of invitations back in the early 2000s, and that's kind of what sparked your interest in being more involved with the Boston Marathon.
Right. Yeah. So growing up in Boston and everything, everybody knows how Patriots Day is such a big day. Marathon Monday is an awesome, experience and everything. So early on, I would go to the marathon, usually sit in the stands and everything. And I would sit there and I'd be like, I want to do this someday. And I can remember I have an uncle, and we talk about it all the time. We're like, we're going to do this someday. And it would get around that time to decide, would you run or not? And I'd always be like, oh, next year. And then in 2009, I ended up, my mom passed away unexpectedly. And at that point in time, it was one of those things that I was like, I'm going to make a bucket list of things I want to do. And I'm just going to start attacking that list, and not put off what I can do today for the next day. So in 2012, I ended up getting an invitational bib. And then kind of just from then on, it's kind of been part of me each year. So.
And I think it's kind of an interesting story. I want you to walk me through, after your mom passed away, which is obviously super sad, and I know that it happened unexpectedly. Your parents were high school sweethearts, so I want to hear a little bit about their relationship growing up. They were high school sweethearts. And I love the fact that you wrote a letter to Bill Belichick, and he ended up writing a letter back to your father. So kind of give me the backstory of your parents being high school sweethearts, And what happened with that infamous Bill Belichick letter to your father?
Yeah. So my parents, my dad grew up in Roslyn Dale. My mother grew up in East Boston, and they went to Cathedral High School. And I think that they met like freshman year, and then kind of fell in love or whatever, and ended up, getting married. And they were married for, it was like over 30 years. So actually 25. And so in 2009, again, my mom passed away unexpectedly. My parents were working out, and my mom was a type 1 diabetic, and she ended up, a blood clot had broke free and went right to her heart, and she like passed out. They tried to revive her and were unable to. So obviously my dad was struggling and everything. And so I try to figure out Bill Belichick's email address. And so my dad and I have been Patriots season ticket holders since 1993. So I found out Bill Belichick's email address, kind of summarized the story, sent a picture, just, talking about what had happened. And if there was anything that he could do to brighten my dad's spirits, I'd greatly appreciate it. A couple of weeks go by, and I get a call from Bill's assistant, Burge, and he asks for my dad's address. So I give my dad's address. A couple more weeks go by. My dad gives me a call, and he's like, "You'll never believe what I just got in the mail." I said, "What?" And he said, "Bill Belichick wrote me a letter expressing condolences for Mom's passing." So he was like floored. I was obviously floored because, Coach Belichick, I'm a stranger, he didn't have to do that kind of a gesture. And so to this day, that letter is framed. My dad has a man cave or whatever in Tampa. Woo! Too. And so it's up in Tampa, and it's just hanging out there.
That's awesome. Oh, yeah. What a crazy story. That whole story the whole time, you're just like pulling at my heartstrings. You're like, oh, that's so sad. But it's beautiful that you were able to have such a response from Belichick like that. So it's in his man cave now, which is so awesome. Now, do you guys spend time together in the man cave?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Nice. All right, so walk us through. What does it look like? How is it decorated? I love home decor, so I want to hear all about it.
All right. So he has all these like really nice framed Boston newspapers from like the 2004 World Series, all the Patriots, Super Bowls, some Celtics stuff. But then in the middle, he has a pool table. He has a nice bar on the side. It's like a good place to go relax, and he has like a big projection TV. It's perfect to watch a game and all that. So it's pretty good. Great. Yeah.
Wow.
That actually sounds super cool. Emma always hears me talk about this, but I cannot wait to have a man cave. And I think me hearing about that man cave, especially with the Belichick letter in there, just got me so freaking hyped. Now you need an autographed Tom Brady football in there if you don't already have one.
That's true. That's true.
Speaking of Tom Brady, let's talk a little bit about Brady. So we originally had the video of you getting super hyped up with Tom. And if you guys actually want to see that video, there's a really cool video on the BosBabes Instagram. And there's a really awesome photo of both Will and Tom. But if you guys want to see a really sweet hype video of Will and Tom, it's up on the BosBabes Instagram right now. But it's basically Will getting super hyped up. The marathon is 5 days away. And I think it's super cute that Tom Brady is like, "Let's go, baby."
Yeah.
How do you feel when you were getting that opportunity to talk to Tom Brady and he basically called you baby? Like, I'd be melting. I'd be like, "What? Tom Brady just called me baby?" And he's like right next to my face. What's going on here?
Yeah, no, I basically was like, think about it. For 20 years, I've been watching Tom Brady play football and everything. And I remember that. So I remember that day. So it was last year before the marathon. And they had us go down to TB12 in Foxborough. And we're just taking some team photos and everything. And then all of a sudden, on the left-hand side, this guy comes in and he starts clapping. And you turn around and it's Tom Brady. And it was like, what's going on? Like, it's like one of those athletes that you can still, I can still get excited about because he's older than me. And this is 6-time champ and everything. So yeah, it was pretty crazy. And then when I played back the video and he called me Babe, I was like, all right, this is like fantastic. Like everyone in New England's dream to be called Babe by Tom Brady.
So during that moment, you're saying that you had to watch the playback and then you remembered him calling you Babe. Were you just like so in awe when he was speaking to you that you completely blacked out and didn't even realize what he was saying to you at the time?
Yeah, like so pretty much. So we were kind of all of us were kind of milling about, and Tom was kind of standing off to the side. And before I went there, I was like, if I meet Tom, he always does those cool Let's Go videos on his Instagram and everything. I'm like, I gotta go up and just ask him to do one of those. So I was standing there, no one's talking to Tom. I'm like, all right, this is my opportunity. So I just went up and I was like, Tom, can we do one of your Let's Go videos? He's like, absolutely. He's like, you just lead the way and I'll like follow your lead.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh my gosh. I can't wait. I know everyone needs to head over and look at that on the BosBabes Instagram. That video is just like, it gives you chills. It just gets you so fired up. It's awesome. So thinking about the marathon that's going to be coming up in September, that is going to be amazing. Now, can you tell me about that whole like team mentality for the TB12 team?
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So we have last year we had 7 runners. This year we have, I want to say it's 18 to 20, and so we're in like constant communication with like the TB12 people, and then what they've been doing is up until we were kind of locked down or whatever, they'd have the runners come in once a month. We have our own personal body coach. And so we've been working with our body coach and going through all the TB12 method, like pliability work, all of that type of stuff, just to get you prepared and make sure, that not only are you putting the time in, like training and everything, but also putting in the time with the recovery and making sure that you're at your best on race day.
That recovery process, I cannot imagine is easy. What is the day after the Boston Marathon like?
There's a lot of walking down the stairs sideways or backwards.
Oh no!
Yeah, no. So the day after it can be pretty sore, especially like first time runners too. It's like, oh my god, what am I doing here? But yeah, you just got to make sure you take care of your body as best you can, and all that stretch, recovery, roll, all of that. But yeah, no, it is definitely painful.
Thanks.
I can only imagine what the whole recovery process is, especially being a part of a team like TB12, like Emma mentioned, and like you just mentioned. Obviously, Tom and Alex Guerrero are all about recovery and pliability and being healthy and being fit, and essentially working as hard as your body can work by keeping yourself healthy and fit. So I wonder if Tom Brady, say it was nice weather today and the marathon was actually going on, I wonder if Tom Brady would have made an appearance at the marathon. Granted, I heard he's already down in Florida, but since it is obviously the off season, I kind of have a feeling that him and Giselle might have showed up at the marathon today. What do you think? Especially it being the 7th anniversary of the marathon bombings, I kind of think that he might have made an appearance. What are your thoughts on that, both of you guys?
Well, and then you got to remember, so this year is the first year that TB12 has their Boylston Street location directly like at the finish line. So it wouldn't surprise me, so the runner, apparently the plan was that once we finished, we're going to be able to go over to TB12 and get some recovery, smoothie, like our massage and everything. So I wouldn't have been surprised if Tom had showed up. It would have been pretty special,
That would have been amazing.
See if you would have called me Babe again.
He just likes you. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Watch out, Giselle. Emma and I actually had on Roseanne Sadoya Materia back in October. Her and I had her in studio live with us, and that was a very touching moment for both her and I, because Emma actually was there at the finish line or near the finish line area. That's actually when her and her now husband first started dating. And I remember talking to Roseanne. She's actually one of the survivors. She was at the finish line. She's a survivor, author, and speaker now. And I find it very admirable that she's taking that tragedy and she turned it into triumph, and she's now a public speaker. Emma, remember how powerful it was having her in studio?
I do. She was just such an incredible speaker. I mean, and to live through what she lived through, like that was just something that had all of us, I think, choking up when we were listening to it. That was really, really a beautiful story. So anyone that wants to hear it, please look back and through the past BosBabes episodes. It's up there, and she grabs you. Like she knew what to say. It was really an incredible story that she had. I mean, she was telling a story about how she met her now husband. Oh, pulls right at your heartstrings, let me tell you. Don't watch it without tissues. It'll get you.
I can agree with that, yes. Emma is completely right. Don't watch it unless you have tissues next to you. And I personally enjoyed listening both to Emma and her talking about meeting their husbands and both being involved with the marathon around the same time, and her actually meeting her husband, who's a first responder. He actually helped save her life that day. So if you guys want to see that episode again, you can either listen to it on Spotify. I forgot to mention, guys, I keep forgetting. So Emma and I know, super exciting. So the BosBabes is actually up on Spotify. So if you guys are driving in your car, if you're bored, flip on some of our old episodes. They're all really good. We've had on the Gronkowski brothers. We've had on some NFL cheerleaders. We've had on Charles Rosa, who's a UFC fighter, who's actually fighting May 9th. We've had so many awesome people in studio with us. We've had in Doug Smith, who's called The Goon. He has a book and a movie written about him. We've had in Paul Stewart. He's a Hall of Fame hockey referee. You name it. We've had some awesome people in studio, just like Roseanne. And if you guys want to hear them, flip on Spotify, watch it on our YouTube, listen to it on our website. It's super cool. We're going to be cutting to a commercial break really quickly, but before we do that, I want to just hear from you really quickly, Will, how it was growing up with your father. I know you and I on the phone the other day were discussing how he's the one that kind of got you into sports, and I know you've already sort of discussed it, but you guys have been Patriots ticket holders since 1993. Like, that's pretty boss.
Yeah, no, from an early age, like I always remember growing up, you know, like during my dad's like free time or whatever, when he wasn't doing stuff with like my mom or the kids and everything, basically like he would be watching sports, Larry Bird Celtics, the 86 Red Sox. And so like I would just, you know, being a typical son, you know, sit down next to my dad, watch the games and everything. And I always remember like when I was younger, my dad would always come home with like tickets to like the most premium games like all the time because of his job. And like one instance that, and it's kind of, I was thinking about it last night because I was watching the Michael Jordan documentary and everything, was 1991. My dad and I, we sat courtside Easter Sunday, Chicago Bulls, Boston Celtics, and it was double overtime game, and it had Larry Bird, McHale, Pippen, Jordan, Reggie Lewis, like
all the legends.
What a game.
And I remember one of the funny things is we were having Easter Sunday dinner at the house, and so my dad and I were at the game, and when we got home, my mother gave him like the 5th degree. And she's like, I could see you guys the whole time. And you knew the dinner was ready for everybody here. And you guys stayed at that game till the very end and everything. So, yeah, no. So it's just one of those things, you know. I always wanted to be like my dad and everything. And so that was like the passion that we kind of shared. And yeah, so we'd go to Patriots games, Red Sox games, Bruins games, everything. It was a blast.
I love it. You're a true Bostonian, and I actually watched a little bit of a documentary last night, The Last Dance with Michael Jordan. I'm excited to watch it on demand tonight, and we're going to hear all from Emma because I'm super excited to hear about her charity that she did online yesterday. And then we're going to hear from Will and all about all of his involvement with the Bill Belichick Foundation, the TB12 Foundation. We'll be right back, guys. Emma, do you want to welcome back?
Hey guys, welcome back, and thank you so much for sticking with us here on the BosBabes. We have a very special guest tonight, Will Titolio, who's been telling us all about his experience with the TB12 Foundation and running for the Boston Marathon.
Super exciting. Thank you so much, Will, for joining us in studio, and thank you, Emma, for being here with me today again. It stinks that the Boston Marathon is not happening today, and Emma and I were actually supposed to be there live and covering an event. But although we can't be there, I'm happy to be bringing you guys live from our homes. You guys can kind of have some Boston Marathon vibe. And Emma, what did you do yesterday with the Irish Hearts Foundation? I was following your posts. You looked absolutely stunning. And what was it, sort of like a telethon that you were running?
Yeah, so the Irish Hearts Foundation is kind of an offshoot of the Nuestros Pequeños Hermanos Foundation that was made many years ago. The Irish Hearts Foundation specifically is an offshoot that is the Boston Irish community that is supporting overseas countries in Latin America and people that have been going through a difficult time in their home life. So maybe they need, school supplies, maybe they are going through something difficult with their family members. So they provide that support. And it all started back with that earthquake in Haiti in 2010. The Boston Irish community noticed that there was a need and they were happy to give. So there's something that they've been doing for many years. So this annual gala that was happening this year was something that they're really looking forward to. They had a ton of support and donations and a bunch of really cool prizes. And they wound up, instead of having it live in person and instead of canceling it, they wound up moving it to WROL radio and doing like a live hour, which was really fun. So there was tons of Irish music, which was great. Everyone kind of got together and talked. And they gave away a trip to Ireland. They gave away a trip to the Cape. They gave away a trip to, I want to say it was Utah, Salt Lake City. So they gave away so much stuff. It was amazing. And they did it, all through telethon. And then they had a woman come on, Winnie Henry, who was talking about, who all of these foundations would directly benefit. They raised $66,000, which is crazy. Like, that is such a crazy amount of money. So I was really excited about that. And it was just fun to kind of get dressed up and kind of talk virtually with people. It's not often these days we get to get dressed up and just kind of enjoy a good charity event, but it was a fun opportunity to kind of do all of that from home.
I think that's super exciting, and I thought you looked absolutely stunning, and I'm so happy that you were able to talk about it today, because again, I did keep seeing your posts, and I wanted to hear all about it. And as you guys know, the BosBabes like to take you both on and off the field with your favorite sports entertainers, and we're all about charity. And although we can't be actively going to these charity events, Emma and I are trying to stay as active as we can. Keep up with her blog. She's blogging about charity events all the time, and you guys have been seeing me reshare her blog posts on the BosBabes Facebook. So please keep up with her blog and also keep up on the BosBabes Facebook, because I've been sharing a lot of her content out as well. And again, once COVID-19 is gone, you will be seeing Emma and I out, going to these events together, interviewing your favorite athletes, helping raise money, and we're so excited for that. But let's kick it back into gear with Will. So Will,
yes,
we want to hear all about working with TB12, the TB12 Foundation, and the Bill Belichick Foundation. We have a really awesome photo of you with Bill Belichick, holding up a Bill Belichick and Utulio, which is your last name, of course, little poster, which I think is super cool. So what is it like working with somebody like Bill Belichick and helping raise money for the Belichick Foundation and obviously the TB12 Foundation?
Yeah, so kind of to go back to the story with my mom and dad. So in 2016, I found out that Bill Belichick Foundation was going to have their first Boston Marathon team, and I had taken 2015 off. So I really wanted to find a way to run in 2016. So once I found out that Bill Belichick was going to have a foundations team, I immediately thought, this is great. Like, this is going to be my way to thank Bill for what he had done for my dad and everything. So I applied to be on the team and everything, and I was selected. And I ended up running for the Belichick Foundation for 3 years, which was like pretty amazing. They do such great work in like not only the New England community, but basically like worldwide. The foundation's built lacrosse fields and outfitted tribes in Africa with lacrosse equipment and like a new field. And then they have a yearly grant program where they offer programs that need equipment, field upgrades, all types of things. So that was like a great experience. And then last year, the opportunity arose to run for the first TB12 Foundation team. And I didn't want to pass up that opportunity because it's going to be kind of like a once in a lifetime opportunity. And basically what the TB12 Foundation does is they're trying to, improve athletes' performance, not only on the field, but with regards to life. And their big things are preparation, performance, and recovery. And so basically the money that we're raising goes towards help these athletes. And what they also have started was a program with veterans. So veterans that, are impacted through their service, they're able to go to TB12 and receive treatment. One of my teammates was a Green Beret and was wounded and ended up working with TB12 and has made all these tremendous life changes because of TB12. So it was just another opportunity to give back and work with something that I kind of, agree with, I guess.
Will, I think we're going to talk more about that after this. I love this.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's exciting. Emma can definitely possibly even do a blog post about you, and we would love to be at the Boston Marathon. I'm sure Emma can attest to this too. We would both love to be at the marathon this upcoming September. Hopefully it doesn't get pushed back anymore. But speaking upon the Boston Marathon, are you going to be doing anything in the meantime? Obviously you're prepping for the actual race itself, but do you have anything else on the horizon as far as raising money? Are you going to be doing any telethons kind of like Emma did last night, or anything virtually like Emma did last night to raise money for the TB12 Foundation?
Yep. Yes. So I have a couple things that I've been doing. One is I have this grid, and it's 100 squares, and so square number 1 is $1, and then square number 100 is $100, and basically whatever you donate, you get that many chances to win. And I have 3 prizes. The first prize is $1,000, second prize is $300, and third prize is $200. So I'm giving away $50 and $100, kind of as an incentive to thank the people that have been very generous over the years. And then the other event is I have an event yearly at Fenway Johnny's. And so usually it's Saturday night, and I have auction items and raffle items and everything, and have an event. People come, spend time together, bid on some stuff, get some raffle tickets and everything. So so those are the 2 big things.
I think that's super exciting, and we're about to wrap up here shortly. I know that the time goes by so fast. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. And before we wrap up, I think we have another 2 minutes or so left. Will, you actually have 1 minute.
You have 1 minute, Brittany.
We have 1 minute left. Will, thank you so much for tuning in and joining us today. We cannot wait for the Boston Marathon happening in September. Cannot wait to see how Tom Brady does with the Bucs. But Emma, really quickly, let's hear some positive pop, because I love you and you always have the best words of encouragement. And you guys can follow us all on social media as well. Emma, take it away.
Yes, I love it. So today's positive pop comes from one of my favorite bands, Journey. So thinking back to when I graduated college a couple years ago, I remember the song playing so loudly, Don't Stop Believing. And I think that's a really important message for people right now. I know that the Boston Marathon was postponed. I know that a lot of things are postponed and things are getting crazy, but don't stop believing that good things are going to come. Don't stop believing that things are going to reopen eventually. Don't stop believing that things are going to be good, and make sure you're looking for that good in the world. I'm going to be, continuing to do blog posts, and I know we're going to be continuing to talk about how good things are still happening in this world. Don't stop believing in them, and whenever you have a chance to be that light you want to see in the world, be it. Make it so that other people don't stop believing. So that's my positive pop for today.
I love that. Amazing positive pop. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys soon. Have a good night.